Welcome back to Ralph's Garage. I'm out here working on the E36 again. Got a couple things that I've been waiting for to come in the mail. I got my RDE Reverse lockout mechanical detent to replace the electric actuator type. It came with O-ring, the Allen bolt for it, and a softer spring to make it a little easier to get in the reverse. We're gonna go ahead and swap to the softer spring. It came with a piece of paper and it says included in your order is a softer compression spring in case you find that shifting in the reverse is too stiff for your liking. In most cases, if a short shifter is used, you will need to change out the installed spring for the softer one. So I'm going to go ahead and install the softer one before we even install this, because I have that MGW shifter and I think it's pretty short, so I would rather just have a slight detent than have to really, you know, hulk the knob over. We'll get to that later. I also got the extended bleeder kit, and I was kind of going through this earlier. It came with this guy, which is the piece that fits into the slave cylinder here, and then the clutch bleeder line is supposed to screw onto here. So I took the line that they gave me. It's like a hot dog down a hallway, and both ends are like that. So this doesn't fit at all. Doesn't screw in. This is too small for this line, or this line is too big for this. So that's pretty frustrating, because this is really the only thing that's keeping me from putting the motor and the transmission together is this bleeder setup. So I got to thinking what I'm gonna do. I could order another one, try and find the right one, and wait, you know, another couple days or a couple weeks, however long it takes to get it. Or I circled back to the Chase Bays cable or hose that they sent, and the problem with the Chase Bays hose is the adapter that they sent doesn't fit into my LS7 slave cylinder. Let me unbag my slave cylinder. Unbagging complete. Ooh, she tight. This is a stock bleeder, and it looks just like the one that came off of my used one, the one that's installed on the trans right now. We're not going to use that, but just for size reference, you can see the Chase Bays one, or the one that came with my new, the extended length one that I ordered, it looks like it will fit into the slave, but the hose doesn't fit on the adapter. So we can't use this, and we can't use this because this doesn't fit in the slave, but this does. So what I'm going to do, and it looks like the other end of this is the same. So I'm going to see, this should screw into the Chase Bays hose, which it does, and then this will screw into the slave, which it does. So I'm still kind of not happy with it, because I really wanted the ability to just drop this thing into the reservoir and just be able to bleed it that way. You can still kind of get that same effect by taking a hose from here and running like a short piece of rubber hose from here into the reservoir, and then just opening and closing this valve here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up using this. I want to keep driving forward on this project. I don't want to be sitting around for another year waiting for parts. So I have what I need to make it work, so I'm going to make it work. This is going to get installed into this slave. This is the line that we're going to use. That's the bleeder that we're going to use. The only thing we're going to use from that hose that I ordered was this. So good thing it was pretty cheap, because they did not send me the right stuff. Let me remove the old slave and get the new slave installed in the trans there. What do we need? 10 mil, probably. Let's see. Yep. really stuck in there. All right, let's take this up to the bench. All right, we're back up on the bench here. Man, this is really in there. That thing was tight. There's like almost like an adapter. I'm gonna see if I can not run that. Definitely gonna need that. So let's bring that over. I need a rag. Need a rag! You dirty rag, you dirty rag, you. Okay, so there's little clips in here. Take that out. If I can get to it. There we go. Got lucky with that, landed right in my lap. So we're gonna pull this guy out. Okay, now we can set this to the side. This is my old one, and you can see they're the same height. They got the same colored boots. That must mean that they're interchangeable. I guess it didn't matter that I found that one because there's a brand new one here. We'll put our adapter in. Put our little clippy clip in there. Bam! Now let's get the bleeder screw adapter. Let's put that in. What size do you think that is? I think it's an 11. Let's see. Oh man. Oh, promise I didn't check before. So now we can just screw this guy on here. This is that Chase Bay's bleeder line. That is also going to be an 11. Tight. And then this is the actual clutch line. Just push that in, and then we'll take our little clippy clip. And now we have our new sleeve with the bleeder line, with the right adapter, and let's put this on the trans. Okay, get this through that window. Oh, try not to break anything. There we go. We'll put our bolts back in. Okay, there we go. We got our bleeder line. This is going to come up and I'm going to mount it on the firewall. And then we got our actual clutch line. It's going to go inside the car to the master cylinder, which is like on the pedal assembly on these E36s. I'm going to push this trans out of the way. I got, what was the other thing? Nope, we're not done yet. We're going to do the reverse lockout. And now we're going to swap out the spring on the RDE mechanical reverse detent. It says we're going to need some snap ring pliers, so let me find some snap ring pliers. And I don't really know how much pressure is in this whole setup here, so I'm just going to go ahead and compress it just a tiny bit. Ooh, I'm still going to need to get to that snap ring. This isn't going to work. Scratch that idea. I'm just going to do it this way. Hopefully I won't get shot in the face with a spring. We're gonna do it this way because I feel like I'm gonna get shot in the face with a spring. And I don't feel like chasing parts down mostly. So you can see I'm just compressing it just a little bit, just to take the pressure off of that snap ring, and then we'll pull that ring out. Harbor Freight junk. These things are like twisting. Garbaggio. These things are terrible. What use is that if they just do this? They just like crisscross. Crisscross! These things came with a couple different ends. I'm gonna try these other ones. Maybe they'll be less flexible. Here we go. Try this one more time. Well, we're gonna try this until we get it done. Not necessarily one more time. Much better, much better. Okay. Yeah, these ones are junk. They're like bent, but these other ones work great. So we'll set our snap ring to the side, and then that's all that we got in there. So this is the stiffer spring. It's definitely stiffer. Yeah. So we're gonna use this one. We'll put this stiff one to the side. Slide it on there like that. Put this back in there. And then we're going to compress it. And it's just a matter. Put the snap ring back in. There we go. That's good. I can do that with one hand. I couldn't do that before with one hand. Now we're going to throw our O-ring on. Yes. And then we're going to drink some beer. Well, let's get an O-ring that fits this. Okay, I said get an O-ring that fits this, but I meant an Allen key. I got one. Let's take this. Let's get it installed. All right, here's our reverse lockout. We're gonna go ahead and take this off, but first I wanted to kind of show how difficult it is to get in reverse. So I put the shift knob on. I'm gonna have to hold the trans, but it is pretty difficult. See, that's the detent there. There it is. Oh, I gotta really lean on it. I feel like I'm breaking the shifter. Let's pull this off and see how easy it gets. This is a 13 millimeter. And there's your detent, and this. Oh, I can't even move it. Yeah, that's really tight. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's reverse right there. Reverse. 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 So let's see how it is with the softer spring. I'm gonna get in there and get a little bit of train fluid on my O-ring. There it is. Snug her down. You can kind of see here when you go to shift. Let's say you were in neutral. I'm getting my shift knob dirty. If you're in neutral and you want to go to fifth, you can push over and you hit this stop, and that's fifth. If you want to go to reverse, you hit the stop and then you go more. And it's really, that's it. And that's reverse. If I turn the input shift, it would go right in. But there you go. It looks good. And now we got all this room for activities here. So throw this in the we don't need bucket. And I think there's one more thing I want to do tonight, and that involves the motor. So let me pull the motor out. All right, I got the trans pushed back and I got the engine pulled out. I took the header off of this side. So the problem that I have is, let me grab something. So the problem I've been having is with the dipstick, and if you've watched my previous videos, the one where I did the actual engine build, you know that I kind of effed up and I broke a drill bit in here. And that forced me to move my dipstick hole down a little bit. So what's happening is when I try and put my dipstick tube in here, because I had to move it down, you can see this is the hole that I want it to go into here. I can't quite get it to sit all the way down. And I think what's happening, I'm sure I can, it's so close. I think what's happening is it's actually hitting the inside lip of the oil pan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray some spray paint down this hole, and then I'm gonna take the oil pan off, and I should be able to see where the spray paint's at, and then I should be able to file it away and make it so that the dipstick will seat. I can almost get it. Oh, it's so close. Yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit of filing, but I need it to fit better than that, because yeah, you can see where it kind of rubs. So let me get a little spray paint and just squirt it in there. I'm gonna flip the motor over and pull the oil pan off. Okay, so I'm looking at it here, and it looks like the hole here, you can see how it kind of comes out on the edge. But I had already clearanced the oil pan. Where is it at? Right there. Right there. Enough for it. I don't think the oil pan's what I'm hanging up on. You can see that my spray paint went straight through. Nothing on the oil pan. Went all the way through. I think what's actually happening is there's a burr here. So I'm gonna re-drill this and just clean out the hole. So please pray for me. Absolutely perfect. There we go. Got it. And it's a snug fit too. But it actually goes in. So now I'm going to put the oil pan back on. Probably going to need a little RTV. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna get the engine hoist out, and we're gonna take the engine off the stand, and then we can work on getting the clutch and the flywheel bolted up to the engine, and we'll see how far we go. I'm not really sure how far we'll go, but for now, let's try and do that. Just pulled the alternator off so I can have more room to work. Let's pull this thing off of here. First time this thing's been off the stand in a long time. This engine leveler is pretty nice. Alright guys, I got the engine off the stand, and got the stand, like, you know, the piece of the stand off. And I kind of got like really motivated, and I was like, man, I'm gonna put the clutch in, and then I'm gonna bolt the transmission to it, and then there's nothing stopping me from dropping it in the car tonight and just getting it sitting on the motor mounts. And then I took a look at I was actually trying to figure out how I was going to install the clutch without a clutch alignment tool, and I found a 19 mil socket that fits pretty nicely in here, and I would be able to use this to kind of align it. I've done this before with Subarus where I've used a socket when I didn't have the right alignment tool. It's not ideal, but it can work. You can make that work. But as I was looking to figure that out, then I was thinking, well, how am I going to center it on the pilot bearing? And I went like this. Oh yeah, this was from Buick Rainier, and it was an automatic. So I have no pilot bearing. And I'm using the clutch that came with the TR6060 from the Camaro, so I don't have a pilot bearing. So that's pretty much all I can do tonight. I'm gonna get the flywheel bolted up to the motor, and then that's it. I'm gonna have to pick up a pilot bearing. Hopefully I can get one tomorrow, like at AutoZone or something like that. Hopefully. If not, I'll probably have to wait till like Saturday to get one delivered. So let me go ahead and put the flywheel on, and I'll probably drop the motor down on the ground and just call it a night. I'm going to use red Loctite on these flywheel bolts. Let's see, these are like 15s or 16s, I think. 22 foot-pounds. 37 foot-pounds. 74 foot-pounds. That's a big jump. 74 foot-pounds. Yeah, it's turning the crank. Let me, I'm gonna set this puppy down. That'll do it. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. The camera just died as I was torquing the flywheel. Hopefully you guys got that. But flywheel's on, motor's off the stand, transmission is ready to get bolted to the motor. Engine bay is ready to receive the motor. So I'm just going to work on getting a pilot bearing tomorrow. Hopefully that's something that I can get at a, you know, at an AutoZone or something like that. And maybe I can find a clutch alignment tool, but if not, I'm sure my socket technique will work. Even with a clutch alignment tool, you kind of have to mess with it to make sure that you're aligned. But anyway, the battery on the GoPro is dead. I plugged it in for a few minutes just to make the outro. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to getting this engine in. Probably the very next episode, we'll be putting the engine in the car with the transmission. And then you guys know the deal from there. It's plugging things in, getting things connected. I think it'll start being pretty quick until we hit our first start. So thanks for watching. Check back again because next episode, that motor's going in that engine bay with that transmission. So anyway, make sure you're subscribed. See you later.